Hello everyone, right away I want to thank you for coming back to my channel for another video. Today we're talking about something that is once again near and dear to my heart, and it's helped me, learn more than I can almost comprehend, which I guess is kind of silly. But anyways, it's for that reason that I want to share it with you today. So right away, I'll ask that age-old question that I know the algorithm is just dying for me to get to, which is, why do I think this video is worth your time? I think it's worth your time because I want to help you actualize your full potential and achieve your goals. And I think many young people are done a serious disservice by not being taught about the benefits that keeping a commonplace book can offer, or even just a journal, something simple. So that's what today's video is all about. It's about the power of writing. It's about what a commonplace book is and why I think everyone should keep a commonplace book. And not only that, but why I think keeping a commonplace book can help us get closer to achieving our goals and actualizing our full potential. So right away I'll say this: I teach 1 or 2 reading and writing intensive undergraduate courses at Johns Hopkins University, and a commonplace book is something that I try selling all of my students on because, 1, it's free, and 2, I think it can offer us, all of us, myself included, far-reaching benefits. And that's what I want for my students. The same thing I want for you. I want them to actualize their full potential and achieve their goals. But maybe, let's say you don't know what a commonplace book is. Maybe you do. Regardless, I'm going to, explain what I think a commonplace book is, in my own words, even though it might seem kind of obvious to some of you. But I'm hoping I can present the obvious to you in a way that maybe isn't so obvious. So yeah, let's dive in. What is a commonplace book? Okay, so the boring Google definition is a book into which notable extracts from other works are copied for personal use. But again, that's boring. It's bland. And I want to get you excited about creating a commonplace book because, again, I think it's the kind of tool that can help almost anyone. So I'll try making this a little bit more exciting. The definition I give my students is this: a commonplace book is a notebook that's exclusively dedicated to holding the most interesting ideas and thoughts and things and events that you happen to come across during the course of your day. Whether what interests you is something you find on YouTube or Twitter or on TV or in a book or during a conversation you had with someone, a commonplace book is a single place, I guess, hence the name, commonplace. It's a single place where you can put whatever it is that interests you most. And with that being said, a commonplace book is something anyone can make, something that can help anyone. I really believe that. And maybe most importantly, I know I've already mentioned this before, but it's free. It's at least low cost. And whether you're a student or you work a white collar job or a blue collar job, compiling interesting information in a single book is going to not only increase the probability that you remember the information you come across, but it can also put us in a better position to consciously access what we're trying to learn, which I think in turn can put us in a better position to achieve our personal, professional, academic, etc. goals. When I explain what a commonplace book is to the students of mine that don't know, I say it's basically like having a second brain. It's like having a second brain on paper, dedicating a single notebook to holding the most interesting ideas that we come across, and the most important ideas that we have has a serious upside that I don't think should be overlooked. And that's what I mean when I say I think a lot of young people are done a disservice by not being told about the value that keeping a commonplace book or even just keeping a journal can offer. A commonplace book can outsource the problem of memory. It takes the load off of our brain. And this is what I mean when I say a commonplace book is basically a second brain, one that's carefully and maybe most importantly consciously created. So a commonplace book is like a second brain. It holds the ideas that grip us, and what that translates to is a general learning curve, I think. At least that's been my experience. A general learning curve that's more likely to be in our favor. But what do I mean by that? This is what I mean. What are we doing when we tailor a collection of writings to our interests? We're engaging with what's oftentimes a wide range of ideas, ideas that are unified most fundamentally by our interests. And I think, at least I hope, that when I put it like that, I can get you to start thinking about a commonplace book as something that's, like your own personal field manual for learning in a way. A commonplace book is, again, it's like a second brain, except this second brain exclusively holds information that has already been filtered through us. And this is important because it reveals something, I think, about the stakes of keeping a commonplace book. Because a commonplace book is, by its very nature, tailored to our own personal interests, it might actually be best described, at least I think, as a tool. More specifically, a self-authoring tool. And this is something I tell my students. When we create and keep a commonplace book, we're doing a couple of different things. We're practicing our writing, we're developing our ability to think and to clearly articulate ourselves, and we should never underestimate how far the value of practicing that skill can take us. But the benefits don't stop there. Keeping a commonplace book is arguably one of the most exciting ways we can learn, because like I've already said, it's tailored to our specific interests. But what do I mean by that? I mean that a commonplace book is like one of the greatest tools that anyone who's interested in pursuing some sort of long-term goal or discipline can benefit from. It helps to contextualize information into a network that's entirely dependent upon our interests, upon our goals. It contextualizes information into a network that's entirely dependent upon our interests. And because it's dependent upon our interests, I think it is indirectly tied to the image that we have for our future, to what we would like to produce in the future. And I think it varies from person to person, so I don't want to say exactly how, but I think that there's some indirect connection between the ideas and the information that we think are most interesting and what we want for our future, what we want our future to look like. And I think a commonplace book is one of the greatest tools that we have at our disposal, because it helps to facilitate learning that's deeper, again, because it contextualizes information into a greater network. It weaves it into a larger fabric. And for that reason, the learning that I think a commonplace book can facilitate is deeper, it's faster, and I think it's more focused than what otherwise might take place. And that's because the simple act of collecting interesting ideas means we're dedicating time to the act of writing, to the act of recording, to the act of remembering. Writing in our commonplace books functions as it's a kind of studying. Whether you want to be a teacher or a business owner or a welder or a carpenter, a commonplace book can function as a tool to help you learn, as a tool to help us give form to something that closely approximates an ideal future. It contextualizes learning, and it focuses it on kind of not just our interest, but kind of the indirect let's say outgrowths of our interest. So I guess yes, the simple answer to what a commonplace book is it's a notebook, it's a journal, but most fundamentally, I think that it's a tool. It's a personal work of art that beautifies the process of our learning and personalizes it. And I think that's a seriously unique and beneficial idea for anybody who's interested in achieving their goals and actualizing their full potential. Okay, that's everything I've got. Before I go, I want to thank you, my wonderful viewer, for sticking with me to the end. I also want to thank my video editors, Bach and Joe. I couldn't do this without you guys. I appreciate all your hard work. And again, I'll thank you one more time, my lovely viewer. If you found this video useful or interesting or helpful, I ask that you please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to chat with some of you about this. Thanks again, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.